that was such a long distance jump, jumping over 2 balls well apart from one another.
Well, you were talking about it, Jerry, and I was thinking, oh, Jerry, don't be silly, shut up. He's not going to go for that. It did. And then you saw it and you were saying to yourself, well, I don't believe it.
I just saw him look at the angle and I thought, man, that's impossible. But oh well. This break done. And once again, the 1 ball has caught the knuckle on the side pocket and been sent back down to the foot of the table while the cue ball goes upstream. So there's some distance between them. You know, 9-ball seems to run in patterns. The last few nights we've been seeing the table open up nicely and the players getting some pretty good opening shots. But tonight, those opening shots have been rare.
Very true. Yes, players are having to fight the table a bit more, aren't they? As you say, not to get something off the break, but just to get something after that.
Yang wanted to use the 9-ball as a block. However, he came up short of that goal, and Marco Lohtander gets a look at the 1. He can bank this ball right back into the corner pocket over which he will be shooting. And the cue ball is going to be rolling down toward the 2. And at the same time, should he miss that 1-ball bank, the 1's going to wind up in the middle of the foot rail. So it's going to be a tough shot for Yang when he comes to the table, even if there's a miss here.
Miss there is.
Miss there is. The knuckle slowed the ball down, but it's still in a tough position. So Yang sizes this one up. Very thin cut down the rail if he were to attempt that.
Well, I think we know he'll attempt anything just about, Jerry.
Well, you know, he's accomplished his goal, so he can play around now. Use this as practice. Now there he goes.
Oh, shot, ball in hand.
I think he was trying to curve that ball to get a little more angle on the cut shot, and the masse took much more powerfully than he felt it would.
You're absolutely right, Jerry, with what you just said. Though he's using this as target practice now. This game, isn't he? He's got what he needs. He's in. You know, the drawbridge is going to close with him on the right side of it. So he's just having some fun with the table out there.
Well, you know, he knows he's going to be back on this TV table. He's a star. They're going to put him out here. And so if he can get the feel of this table, it's a big advantage for him. Lohtander, meanwhile, is quietly taking care of business. Solid reserve player.
Absolute silence in the auditorium at the moment. Lohtander is used to that. In his spare time, his day job is he works for a company that designs and makes medical anesthetic equipment. So this fella is all about putting people to sleep. And he's put the 3rd rack to bed. Woke everybody up.
Lohtander leading the local favorite 2-1 in our race to 5. Yang needs to work some more tricks to get our audience back into this one.
Oh dear, Lohtander's worked his magic on Yang. I thought he dropped off. So the anaesthetic wears off in a hurry.
Yang waits as our rack is being assembled by Nigel Reese. Lohtander with the opportunity to bust these balls apart.
2 racks to 1.
yellow's gone, the orange has gone, and the pink has gone. That's spread those balls out, and look at that. Nothing between the cue ball, the 1, and that bottom right-hand pocket.
Yes, but as this break finishes up, the 2 ball and the 8 ball have become extremely friendly.
So bottom right, I meant top right-hand pocket. But as you say, Jerry, there's a little bit of cuddling and canoodling going on down there, bottom left.
He's going to have to put a lot of right-hand spin on this 1 ball to come back up and break the 2 and 8 apart if he chooses to go that route. And that's really asking the cue ball to do a lot of work. Right. The safety, a much easier shot to accomplish in that situation. Does no good to make the 1 if you have no shot on the 2. Still no shot there, but if Yang puts this ball into the upper left corner pocket, the cue ball is going to be moving in the direction after 2 rails of the 2 and the 8. If he could just bring it down to this side of this end of the table, even if he doesn't break those balls up, he would have a great safety available where he could move the 2 out of there and leave the cue ball. Well, he went for the breakout, got the breakout almost, but missed the shot.
This is actually typical of what we've seen from Yang on this TV table. I mean, I know, as we said, that the pressure's off him a bit. He's playing a very loose game. But even in some of those earlier ones, there were some very uncharacteristic misses from Yang. He's not quite on his A game.
Not as yet. In years past, we've seen him where he just doesn't miss a shot. Lohtander's made the 1. Is he in position to make anything happen with the 2? There's a bank there at least. Bank is probably the best option here anyway, because it gives him the ability to draw back for the 3. But you got to make them.
This is contagious.
It is indeed. He comes up short on this shot. Fortunate that the 2 ball did not just rattle in the jaws and sit there. Not certain that the 3 ball allows the 2 to clear for the bank shot back into the upper right corner. That's what he's checking out. You might have to hit this ball fairly directly and try to spin the 2 ball over there with some English. Spin it off the rail rather than shoot the normal angle. Or 3 ball sitting there is another safety available. He can always hide behind that 3. Seems to be some doubt.
Well, he had something lined up and then decided, no, I need to take a second look at this.
Well, you know, the 6 and the 8 are nestled together over on the other side of the table. I'm kind of surprised that he wouldn't just move the cue ball over to hide behind them. But he apparently has something else in mind. Well, he tried the bank. Tried to English that ball over, and the English just didn't take off the rail.
I think he's got best part of a full pocket look at this. Yes, he has.
Yeah, he can go into either corner with this shot.
Takes the right-hand corner as we look at it.
Next problem is the 6 ball. The 3 ball, a tough enough shot on its own, but the 6 blocked from the most obvious pocket by the 8 ball.
Another miss. Wow. Good job these fellas are in. I just, it's taken the intensity out of the match a bit, hasn't it?
It has, but you know, this table has This has been a strange table. It has set up with some very tough situations. The 6 and 8 are just ugly. And you've got to get over there and move those balls apart to do anything, unless you want to settle for a bank. And I believe it was Minnesota Fats who said that bank shots are for losers.
Well, that wasn't quite what was intended. They were a couple of inches apart. Now they're pretty much in contact with each other, I think.
These balls just are not cooperating at all. I'm not sure he can get past the 8 with the bank into the side, which would be a fairly elementary bank. If he's going to try and cut this into the side pocket, the referee better be on his toes. Well, now he's measuring the bank into the corner. That's a tall order.
There it goes, and he's not quite got that one dialed in.
Well, fans are getting their money's worth. We're going to have more shots in this game than most.
I think that's the point, isn't it, Jerry? If Yang needed to win this match, I don't think he would have played that shot.
No, I don't either. And it doesn't look like either player is terribly passionate about this particular game. That may change as we get closer to the magic number of 5.
Well, Marco's got one step closer. That was another little one of those tales of the unexpected, that rack. Lohtander, with the break of serve, is 3-1 to the good in this race to 5. But Yang's done what he wants. He's got that one rack. Both these fellas will be in action in the last 64. More in a moment.
And let's have a look at some of these densely populated group tables. Group 9, Steve Davis will be taking on Ralph Souquet on the television table very, very shortly. That group, Dave, is still wide open.
Wide open. Nobody confirmed. Nobody guaranteed a place there yet, although Davis is looking very, very secure.
OK, Group 10 sorted. Chow, Kiamko, Kempter and Harriman all through. Looking through Group 11, still 3 places yet to be sorted out.
Yep. Dominguez, the one that's got a chance to dislodge somebody there.
Goes down to number of wins, then number of racks won, and then number of racks lost. Ortman, Morris, Wang and Schober all through. Group 13 again, still open. Neil Svajan, top half. He was struggling earlier on.
Yep, still not locked out, that one. Still very, very open. The bottom 2 places, 3rd and 4th there, could go to anybody.
Group 14, that is sorted. Kawabata, Shamat, Petroni and Lopez. That's a Petroni-Shamat match we saw yesterday. The points eventually proving vital for Petroni. And again, Group 15, a little bit open.
Yeah. Takahashi looking in trouble, but with possibility to get in there. And Jiang too. We saw the match between Wu and Stepanov.
And Group 16 on Judgment Day. Parika and Jeremy Jones both out on Judgment Day.
Absolutely massive. The 2 finalists from the US Open not in the World Pool Championship knockout stage.
Okay, we're rounding up who's in, who's out on Judgment Day. Lohtander in good shape, Yang in good shape now. He needed to win just 1 rack. He has done that. He will survive on Judgment Day by the skin of his teeth in the end. But Jerry Forsyth and Nick Halling in the commentary position. Let's head back and get the conclusion of this match.
He'll be kicking toward the corner pocket where the 8-ball lies. That can't help him out. If the 2-ball were to go off of the foot rail, it might carry him into the pocket off of the 8. However, nowhere close.
That is a strange one. He's got me with that shot, Jerry. I'm not sure what he was trying to do.
Well, I just don't think he executed what he was desiring. Yang now has an easy shot on the 2 ball, but again, position on the 3 not all that easy. We're just not seeing any roadmap layouts
No,
in
it's
this match.
we've seen so many join the dots racks. I suppose the first 2 or 3 days we've been spoiled a little bit, but some very strange positions off the break today. Maybe it's a little bit of tension in the air all round. You know, this is Judgment Day, isn't it? This is the day that a lot of fates get sealed.
Yang trying to determine if there is a pocket open for this 3 ball. Here you see all the spin he puts on that cue ball. Now, does the 3 pass the 7? If not, he can play a safety, rolling the 3 ball down and marrying the cue ball against the 6 or the 7. But apparently it does go, because he's playing to bring that cue ball back toward the 4.
This is what Steve Davis would call a Mile End shot. Mile End Road tube station in London, where you have to mind the gap. This is a very narrow gap to mind indeed.
Well, he's not comfortable with this shot. Had to cheat the pocket. As a result, he's now going to have a rather clumsy bridging situation. That 6 ball in a very bad spot for him. We just can't get a table where the balls have paths to the pockets. See if he plays the combination or plays the 4 off the rail, caroms in off the 8. Plays the combination. And for once we'll have an open pocket. Crowd appreciates that shot. Table playing extremely soft. He hit well up on the rail and still was able to get inside the jaws and grab the dark space.
I thought he'd messed it up. As you say, the table decided to help him out.
Well, the television lights do heat the rubber of the rails. Makes them less bouncy. More forgiving. And with the 7 ball down, the 9 ball waiting. Yang is looking at drawing within 1 of Marco Lohtander. Redeems himself somewhat. Score now, Marco Lohtander 3, Yang 2. We're racing to 5. Here's a look at some of the shots that made up that rack.
Well, the Finn's still got his nose in front here, 3-2.
Not at all a comfortable lead. If there is a comfortable lead in a race to 5. He's rising to the occasion. That occasion being the break shot.
Rack 6, Marco Lohtander to break, leading 3 racks to 2.
Marco would love to see a good spread of the balls. We haven't seen one. Oh,
Well,
now he doesn't want to see a good spread of the balls. But that's what he has. Gave us a good break and a scratch to go with it.
that went like a beam of tracer fire, didn't it? to that center.
Well, that's the
pocket.
danger of breaking from the far side. There is an advantage to breaking from there. The balls come apart better, but it gives the cue ball a path into that side pocket if you're not dead on with your hit.
Both players, as we said, are safely through. They will get to the elimination stage, the last 64, as the field is reduced by 50%. And at this point, you'd say, well, nothing to play for. And OK, so the key is qualification. But the higher you can finish, the higher you get seeded. They reseed everything once the last 64 are through. And the guy with the best record will be the #1 seed. And the guy that's crawled in through the cat flap in the back door will be the number 64 seed. So theoretically, the higher you can finish, the better your prospects, at least in the first couple of rounds.
That's right. You want to be right up at the top because you'd much rather play someone who has been struggling a bit in this tournament than someone who's been winning all of his games. Confidence factor is huge in 9-ball.
And there are a few guys, as we know, Joe, that have sneaked in. There's a few 3 wins out of 7 that have made it, and there'll be like 3 guys with 3 wins, and it's the best of the bad bunch that has got in. So you would think they're the ones that aren't going to stick around too long when we get down to the last 64.
Yang not happy with this. His position came up well short. Really understroked that last shot, but no matter. The 9-ball is down. We're tied at 3. Hey, folks, it's a race to 2.
Well, who has the greatest sense of urgency here, as Jerry says? It's a race to 2 now, and Yang, who has trailed all the way, now has an opportunity to get his nose in front for the first time, because he will come up and break. But the break hasn't been the advantage that we've seen in so many other matches in this particular contest. It seems more often than not the guy that gets the break then has a big frown on his forehead as he tries to work out what on earth he's going to do next.
Rack 7, Ching Shung Yang to break, 3-3.
Well, for once, I don't think Yang will be too unhappy. He's got a couple down. He's got to look at the 1. The 2 is sitting over a pocket as well. Couldn't ask for much better than that.
No, you're right. This rack can be run. And it's critical now that Yang hold his serve if he's to win this match. Well, he's surveyed the situation. He's made his game plan. All he has to do now is follow it. Plan your work and work your plan. One of the keys to this game. He'll just need to move this cue ball down table toward the 3. Doesn't need to get terribly close. A bit straighter than he wanted to be. Now if he draws back, he has to avoid the 8-ball. If he goes forward, he's got more traffic to avoid. But we know he can cheat the pocket considerably and generate a larger than normal angle by playing off the rails and the jaws. Uses the jaws and clips the 6, but it's not going to slow him down enough to stop his progress through the rack. Classic example of position play there, coming out in line with the shot so that the cue ball's traveling down the line of play. That gives you quite a bit more room for error than trying to run across the line of shooting. Cue ball nicely checked off of the top rail.
Well, this is a shock. We've had a rack run.
Whoopee, they all went down.
And it puts Yang on the hill in this race to 5. The man from Chinese Taipei needs one more rack. So for the first time in the match, this fella finds himself trailing. Last time he came up to break, he put way too much on the cue ball, which propelled itself into the center pocket. What lessons he will have drawn from that?
Well, if he wants to hit him that hard again, he's going to need to move the cue ball toward the center of the table to be more certain
Rack
of
8,
avoiding that
Mark
shaft,
Lohtander to
that
break,
scratch.
trailing
But I would
3
expect him
racks
just
to
to take a
4.
little bit off so that he can hit this rack dead on. The table's been generous. He doesn't need to really slam this rack, but he does anyway, and parks the cue ball beautifully in the center of the table. That should give him a shot, and does.
With 3 down as well. Just what he wanted.
Well, his only tough shot, and this one's going to be the first shot on the 1 ball. He does have to work the cue ball back down to this end of the table. He got there.
Well, nice to hear that applause. It's a Taiwan crowd, as we've said before. They want their guys to win, but they appreciate good 9-ball.
Well, suddenly the balls have been spreading out in an acceptable fashion to allow runs, and these gentlemen have delivered them. Eight ball in the heart of the pocket. 9 ball awaits, and we've had 2 breaking runs in a row. That delivers both men to the hill. It's hill in Taipei, and we've got a 1-game decider coming up.
There's 2 guys on the hill, but only one of them can be king. Yang and Lohtander 4 apiece. It all comes down to this deciding 9th rack. This man, courtesy of winning the lag, has the opportunity to break for the match.
Well, we hadn't seen many hill matches until tonight. Now we've seen quite a few throughout
Final
the
rack,
room,
Yang to break.
and that's really points up the importance of winning that lag. A shot you rarely see players practice. You would think you'd see more of it, but they're also confident in their cue ball speed control that they assume they can get up there and do it, and most often they do. Get awful close to that rail on the lag shot. We've got balls down. You see them. The wing ball goes down, get down in the corner. The 1 ball squirts over into the side.
But it's that pink that's come sliding in there that's made this a little bit awkward.
Yeah, I'm not sure he can. I don't think he's got enough pocket to go into the side pocket with the 2 ball. Can't get past the pink to go into the corner.
Is there a 2-7 combination possible?
There is. The problem with that is where the 2 ball goes after the 7 goes down. Does he then have a shot on the 2 or not? It looks like he's going to try and jump over the edge of the 4 ball and put it in the corner. And does that well. This man has no trouble taking to the air.
Oh, lovely shot. Wonderful control. And he's come around and found himself with a nice look at the 3.
Yang on his game now. Would have liked to have rolled to the other side of this line between the 5 and the pocket, but he can work with this.
Now, this is what Yang would want as well. You don't want to go sneaking in and just beating the cut, do you? You want to go in with a bit of style and a bit of a flourish. And he'll be able to say to himself, you know what, I won my last 3 matches. I might have struggled at 2 and 2, but I'm building up some momentum.
And this is our 3rd break and run here. Marco Lohtander needs to be preparing the handshake. And Yang prepares the victory smile. He's come up short, a lot shorter than he wanted to be, but that's no hill for a stepper. This ball will go down.
He did almost the identical shot in an earlier round, didn't he? To, as you say, put it down.
Watch it coming at you.
Slowly does it, and it doesn't. Well, it's just as well he's booked his spot in the last 64. Fancy if he'd gone out on that.
You know,
Settle down, please.
we've seen it all in this match. Tough layouts, missed shots, blown opportunities, and a 1-ball victory.
It wasn't a classic, was it? Too many mistakes for that, but I think these fellas have both just let their foot off the gas a little bit. And I think they probably both see the funny side as well. Somehow, Marco Lohtander has stolen that one. He did have a 3-1 lead. Yang brought it right back. All he had to do was pop the 9. It bounced around in the jaws and said, no, the Bulls have got one more twist for you 2 players. And that's why Lohtander has gotten the win. But we'll see both of these gentlemen when we get to Sunday.